tonight on KSL Outdoors.
There we go.
We'll show you a small lake with a big population of largemouth bass.
It's really a gem for northern Utah.
Plus, we'll introduce you to the Arapeen OHV Trail System in Sanpete County.
I'm Adam Eakle, and this is KSL Outdoors.
KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Well, it feels like summer, 85 degrees. Let's hope the bass think it's summer. I'm Adam Eakle, KSL Outdoors, and George Sommer with Fish Tech Outfitters. Where have you brought us?
I brought you to Mantua. I don't know if it's a reservoir or a lake today, but we're going to go out and catch some largemouth bass. And I think the 85-degree temperature, it's going to be on. When the water's up in the trees, we're going to have an incredible time. It's one of the best places in Utah to catch largemouth bass.
Cool, let's go launch.
Sweet.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to start doing?
Well, I think we're going to start over here in this corner on that pocket, and we're going to go that way.
Okay.
We're going to kind of go in the trees, and then we'll move out and see if there's any fish out off the flats.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Mantua Reservoir is located just east of Brigham City, about 5 miles up Sardine Canyon. It's a cool 500-acre lake loaded with bluegill, trout, perch, and largemouth bass.
So I've got a little creature bait that I'm using. And we're going to start and see where the fish are, kind of locate any fish that might be in the trees, and just kind of pitch that up there and shake it a couple of times, move it out, pitch it back in again, see what happens.
We are in the game. So George, having never fished this, what can we expect? I mean, a lot of 12, 14 inchers. What's in here?
Probably a pound and a half, 2 pounds. So 15 or so inch fish with a chance at a really good one.
Okay.
Something in the 5 to 6 pound range.
You're saying there's a chance.
There's a fish. Got him. Yep. Sweet. Nice one too.
On the Cinco.
Perfect.
Nice little fish. Oh, pretty fish.
Yes.
There we go. Nice little largemouth from Mantua. My first. Didn't even have to do it through the ice, George.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Nice little 3/4 pound fish. Pretty. Just in here banging the weeds with in the trees with a Cinco. Let's get him back in the water. There he goes.
Well, there we go.
Oh, there he is, fish on. There we go.
I didn't even know he, I'm like, man, it stopped.
It just stopped, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look at that, long line release.
On the blade again, huh? I might have to switch colors. I haven't had a bite. There he is.
Got him.
Came out and got it, yep. Little guy, little peanut.
That was cool. I saw him swipe it.
Yeah, just a little guy. So the wind got a little tough on us. So we decided to throw blades, and we're picking up a few. Now I'm running a trailer hook on the back. Not necessarily a must, but I like it. But you can get hooked up or hung up a little bit more. Just a little trailer hook with a little piece of hard rubber on the back of that hook to hold it on there. So that's actually what caught that fish.
There we go.
That's one of the better ones we've caught today. Still not, you know.
Yeah, not a monster, but
they're getting bigger.
Sweet. Fat little guys. That's the nice thing. They're all healthy here in Mantua, and that's what's nice to see is a good healthy population of bass. We have not that many good largemouth fisheries, and you know this is really one of them, and it's good to see it's doing well, and hopefully it stays that way.
There he is.
Got him?
Yep.
Sweet.
A little better fish. And hey, maybe we found a little technique here, George.
Yep.
Not much better, but what the heck? Oh, quick release. They obviously like this blade. I think the silver has played a key in it. George was getting bites and I wasn't, so I switched to one silver blade and one Colorado copper blade, and that at least getting some hits now.
There we go.
We'll have more fishing, even a few bigger fish coming up, plus a place to take the family on a ride down in Sanpete County. Those stories just ahead, but first, tonight's climate quiz question. The Mantua Valley was well known to the early fur trappers, hunters, and Native Americans that roamed the Wasatch Mountains. But it wasn't until Mormon immigrants arrived in the 1850s that there was a permanent settlement here. Our climate quiz question is, before the town of Mantua was named, what was this small valley called? Now, once you know the answer, log on to our KSL Outdoors Facebook page, give us the correct answer, and while you're at it, give us a like. We'll then randomly select and announce a winner on our page the following week. The winner set to walk away with a Climate Static V sleeping pad. And our answer to last week's question, which was, who named the Aquarius Plateau? The answer? It was Almond Harris Thompson. Thompson was second in command of John Wesley Powell's second expedition to explore the Green and Colorado rivers. Through his work on the Powell expeditions, Thompson was responsible for naming many geographic locations across the West. KSL Outdoors, powered by Ford. We'll be right back to Mantua.
KSL Outdoors is also brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, Fish Tech Outfitters, Utah State Parks, Burt Brothers, Climate, Intermountain Wind and Solar, the Cabins at Bear River Lodge, Trax Power Sports Rentals, and Camp Chef.
There we go.
Nice.
I seen him come out and whack it.
Come out of the trees.
Yeah, he hit it hard.
Welcome back to Mantua, where we figured out that the spinnerbait bite is on.
There's a fish.
Got him?
Hit it as soon as it hit the water. That bait had no sooner hit the water when he grabbed it. Oh, he spit it. Just a little guy. Good release. Been doing that a lot today. Still a lot of fun on this blade.
You know, there's really only a handful of fisheries in northern Utah that have largemouth bass populations, and Mantua is one of them, and really it has one of the healthiest populations there is. We've been monitoring it closely for a number of years, and
There's a fish.
everything just looks great year after year. Those fish are in great condition. We've got lots of small ones, lots of medium-sized ones, and even some that might make some memories for people that are a good 20 inches and 4 to 5 pounds. So really just great all-around fishery.
There he is. Oh yeah, called it. Little guy though.
Nice. That's not a bad fish.
Is he?
No, that's a good one.
Felt little. Oh yeah, that's a good one for today.
That's a good fish. Probably our biggest fish of the day.
Don't shake it, don't shake it, stay in the water. Phone going off, catching fish. There we go. They're not giants, but boy, they're fun to catch. Maybe 3/4 pound. You're not gonna win any tournaments, but in about 4 years you might. Thanks, buddy.
We actually did a creel survey there in
Little guy.
2015, and we saw about 80,000 fish caught, of which about 16,000 were largemouth bass. So that water puts out a lot of fish. The bluegill ought to be moving into the shallows. What they'll be doing is they'll be making craters in the about 3 to 5 feet of water along the shoreline of the lake. You look for those. Particularly the males will be sitting on those nests, and it's a time when it's really easy to catch these fish, and it can be really fast. A lot of people sometimes have 50 to 100 fish days. So great one, whether you're in a boat or whether you're fishing from shore. That's a nice one to come and utilize.
Well, we've been doing that same technique, just chucking into the brush, and it's been tough in the wind though. It's been really tough to make an accurate throw, but we got a good fish here. Look at this guy.
Oh yeah, that is a nice fish.
Oh yeah, right in the lip.
Toadster.
Toadster! Look at that, nice fish. That's gotta be a couple pounds, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Best fish of the
Been
day.
healthy, and I'd say that fish was probably spawned out.
Probably spawned out, yeah, what do you think? Probably 2, maybe 2 1/4, 2 1/2?
She'd be 2 1/2 if she was nice.
Just a nice fish.
There we go.
Oh, nice. I saw that one.
Yeah, he come over the limb after it.
Like I said, lots of cookie cutters.
Yep. Just a tiny guy, but man, they're a lot of fun to catch. It's not like a fish every cast like
No.
we'd like it to be, but
We're working for him.
we are. But it's, you know, it's fishing and it's a lot of fun. You can't, it's better than being at work. I'll say that.
This is work.
Oh, well, it's better than being at work for me.
Oh, okay, okay.
No.
Cool.
But you know, it's a neat place to come fish. It's got lots of cover, lots of largemouth. There's some big fish in here. You have to work for them, but It's a lot of fun.
All right, hey, let's turn it over to the poor schmucks back at Fish Tech working today for today's Fish Tech Fish Report.
Ice out fishing the end of June? It's happening in the Uintas right now. Hi, I'm Mickey Anderson from Fish Tech with this week's fishing report. The ice is coming off, the roads are clearing, and fishing's a lot of fun right now. Here's the way to do it. Now, I like to fly fish, so I'm going to use a fly rod, and I'm walking along the shoreline, so I'm going to use a floating line so that it doesn't tangle at my feet. Use a really long leader, and use a fly that'll sink like one of these. Now, if you don't use a fly rod, you can use a bubble to do the same thing, just a fly in a bubble. Fill the bubble half full, leave your fly close to the top, then fill it completely full and get it down. Now, if you like to fish lures, the water's got a lot of color, and the same thing applies to the flies as to the lures, as to the color that you use. Some of the water is crystal clear, and you want to use the shiny, bright colored lures like these, but a lot of the water has kind of a rusty tannic color to it. And in that rusty colored water, you want to use a darker lure, something like this. Now, if you like to bait fish, that works really well too. You can use power bait, put it on the bottom. Rainbows and grayling are both ready to spawn. I would use a yellow egg on the bottom, but you can also suspend it, and this works really well. Try a little piece of night crawler, power bait, or an egg on a little jig hook hanging below a weighted bobber. For these tips and a whole lot more, come on down to Fish Tech, we'll help you out. Now for tonight's fishing line.
Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle along with Taylor Etaw with Trax Power Sport Rentals here in Provo. And you know, we were headed out on a ride for the second half of our show and you said, don't go buy some new wheelers, come rent some from us.
That's right, we got our brand new Can-Am Outlander 570s. They're a 2-passenger ATV, great for taking the kids along for a ride behind you.
Yeah.
And they're also great for the trails that won't quite allow those big, wide side-by-sides on them.
Summer is here. People need to come and see you if they're headed to the lake.
That's right, we've got our boats, we've got our jet skis, and we've got our four-wheelers side-by-sides. We can take care of you whether you're on the water, dirt, sand, wherever you're going.
Well, thanks, dude. We're gonna go hit the trail.
Sounds good, have fun.
All right.
Located just outside the beautiful small town of Fairview up on top of Skyline Drive is where you'll find the 550-mile Arapeen OHV trail system.
This area is known as the Miller's Flat area of the Arapeen OHV trail system. It's a great place to ride. There's lots of places to camp. There's lakes and really good mountain vistas. Great riding. There's some technical rides for the advanced rider, as well as some really easy stuff for the beginners.
Family friendly, you know, we've got fishing lakes everywhere, all the trails that you can imagine. The scenery's beautiful, up and down terrain, but anyone can ride.
There's a few 50-inch trails, not very many, and you can get around almost everything that's 50 with the 60-inch trail.
I think it's the best area in Utah for four-wheeling. You can actually, get in from Fairview and go clear down the Skyline Trail. You can cross over 70 and go to Fish Lake, and then you can keep on going south. I like to put my fly fishing and my casting rods in the back of my four-wheeler and just go from lake to lake.
Let's go try it, see what happens.
All of these mountain lakes are just loaded with fish, from little planters in some of them all the way up to some great big 3, 4, even 5-pounders. So you're gonna want to hit all these lakes along here. This spring's been super hot.
Oh, he's got one on down there.
Woo! Right above Ephraim, you can go to Pete's Hole, and that's just a nice little ride, and it's very well stocked. And so it's a real fun place, like for me, to take grandkids and stuff like that to catch fish.
Woohoo! It may not be the biggest fish in my life, but any fish is better than no fish.
Today we've been riding Arapeen Trail number 12, and this is trail number 57. This takes us up to the top of Skyline Drive, which is also Arapeen Trail number 1. Skyline Drive is about an 87-mile road all along the spine of this mountain range. We have an Arapeen Trail map. You can get this free of charge if you go to utahatvtrails.org. A lot of camping, a lot of fishing, a lot of ATV riding, great places to ride horses, just a great, beautiful place to come and enjoy the mountains.
Well guys, I don't even think we scratched the surface. There's a lot of riding up here and a lot of opportunity, even opportunity to give back a little bit.
There is. In fact, on July 22nd, Fairview City is hosting a ride-in right around their Pioneer Day celebration. You can find out more information at fairviewcity.com. It's for the local pantry, Sanpete Pantry, located in Mount Pleasant.
And Kevin, if people have more interest of coming down here, where can they find more information?
You can go to get a free trail map, you can go to utahatvtrails.org or go to sanpete.com.
And it's only, yeah, from my house it was an hour and 15 minutes, so it's not far.
Really close to the Wasatch Front.
Good deal. Hey, more in a moment, but first down a different trail in tonight's Utah Field Guide.
18 miles from Fairview, Utah, up on top of Skyline Drive, just off Highway 31, you'll find the small Huntington Reservoir. At just over 9,000 feet, Huntington Reservoir is one of Utah's most popular tiger trout fisheries, both in the summer and in the winter. It's a great place to take the family for a getaway, as there are many other lakes and streams nearby to fish in the Mantua Reservoir National Forest. Many locals call Huntington Reservoir Mammoth Reservoir for the large mammoth that was found here in 1988. A bulldozer operator was working on Huntington Reservoir Dam when he unearthed the front leg bone of a mammoth skeleton. Scientists were brought in and ended up finding about 90% of the skeleton of this very old bull mammoth. The Huntington mammoth lived about 10,000 years ago, very close to the time of the mammoth's extinction. The site is located at an elevation of 9,000 feet, making it the highest elevation find at the time. This mammoth was a very old individual, as indicated by tooth wear and arthritis in its bones. Mounted cast skeletons of the Huntington mammoth may be seen on exhibit at the Natural History Museum of Utah in Salt Lake City, the Utah State University Eastern Prehistoric Museum in Price, and the Fairview Museum of History and Art in Fairview. A cool place and a cool find to take the family to this summer.
Boy, mid-June and you still need a jacket up here at 10,000 feet, but summer is finally here and it's finally going to hit the high country. Let's check that recreation forecast now to find out your next outdoor adventure by turning over to the guys and gals in the weather department.
Welcome back to the beautiful Arapeen Trail here in Sanpete County. Don't forget, if you're looking for ideas on ways to get your family into the outdoors, like maybe a ride down here on the Skyline Drive, check out our outdoors calendar page. You'll find it on our outdoors website at ksltv.com.
Boy, I'll tell you, what a cool ride for sure. There's some beautiful scenery, wildlife. I know Ethan sure enjoyed it, didn't you? He liked that ride. He was like, I'm done fishing, Dad, let's go back riding. Kid's a thrill seeker. Don't forget, when you take your rugrats out into the wilderness, take some snapshots submitted to our snapshot contest. Now, time to turn it over to you for the best of the week, our snapshot of the week.
We kick it off with a personal best for Mark with this huge tiger trout. Mark was up at Currant Creek when his second rod almost took a dip into the lake. But Mark was able to grab the rod and wrestle this 28-inch, 7-pound tiger trout to shore, his biggest catch to date. Dakota shows off his big tiger trout that he caught over Memorial Day weekend, but this giant was caught on the boulders. Dakota has a knack for catching big fish, but this 32-inch, 12.5-pound pig will be hard to beat. McCoy Diedrichson was up on the boulders as well and ended up with this colorful catch, this Colorado River cutthroat trout that he caught on his last day there. McCoy was there with his grandparents. It was his first fishing trip to the boulders in White Pine Lake, and I'll bet it's not his last. The Bagshaw family decided to take a drive up into the Uinta Mountains for some target practice. They then set their sights on each other with a little impromptu snowball fight. They even found some time to take some cool pictures of the ice as it retreats from the high country lakes. And finally, our winner tonight was trolling down at Lake Powell and caught a coyote. Mike Myers was fishing off his kayak on the banks of Bullfrog Bay when he looked up to see this coyote staring back at him. Mike noticed the moon was up and While still talking to the coyote, he positioned his kayak just perfectly to get this cool shot of the moon right above the coyote. Mike says he half expected the coyote to raise his muzzle to the moon and start howling, but instead, the coyote lowered his head and just listened to him talk. A cool shot, Mike, and the next time you head to PAL, you'll have our cool prize to take with you, as you just won our Snapshot of the Week. Remember, submit your pictures or video plus an explanation of your latest outdoor adventures online at ksltv.com. The winner each week wins the new Pro 60X 2-burner stove with two 30,000 BTU burners and matchless ignition. Plus, the winner is also entered into our Ford Trucks quarterly Facebook giveaway for a Camp Chef pellet grill.
Build your outdoor kitchen with Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
Coming here for the first time and not on the hard deck, I was impressed. There's some nice fish in here. A lot of cookie cutters.
Well, and we were catching, because we're on the tail end of the spawn, we caught a lot of littler fish.
Yeah.
So I think, you know,
Nice.
give it a week, 2 weeks, especially if this weather stays nice, it's going to be on. And the big fish will be back and they'll be feeding.
Cool.
Perfect.
Well, summer's finally here. Let's go find some more bass.
Let's do it again. Yes, definitely.
Thanks, sir.
Awesome.
That's fun.
Yes, it was.
You and I always seem to do good on spinner blades.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
It's like a trend.
Can't argue with that.
No. Hey, I'm Adam Eakle, along with George Sommer from Fish Tech Outfitters, reminding you to get out with your family, your friends, and make some memories like a quick trip up to Mantua outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.